Moshe Rabbeinu sent the Meraglim to reconnoiter, to scout out Eretz Yisrael. And among the things he said to them, Urisem Sa'aretz Mahi, Hayesh bo eitz im ayin. See if there's a tree. Do trees grow plentifully in Eretz Yisrael? And Chazal said, what did he mean by eitz, tree? He meant, is there a tzaddik? Is there a tzaddik in the land whose merits, whose zechus, could save the people of Canaan? And Rabbi Nosson Scherman explains, eitz, we find the beginning of the Bria, Kadosh Baruch Hu created eitz pri. A real tree, the best tree, is a tree that produces fruit, has to produce. And if Moshe Rabbeinu sent the people to see if there's a tzaddik, an eitz, he meant not only that he's a righteous person himself, but does he have children who follow his example? Does he have talmidim who follow his example? And there's a case in point. Well, the Chazon Ish said about the Ponevezh Rav. The Ponevezh Rav, the Chazon Ish said, could have been the Gadol Hador had he not devoted most of his energies to building Torah after the Holocaust. In Ponevezh before the war, after World War I, where communities were destroyed by the German invasion going across Poland, where he built a yeshiva, he built a community, rebuilt a community after the ravages of World War I, and after World War II, built a Ponevezh yeshiva, other institutions, spread Torah, gave Torah new life and new vigor, and new talmidim in Eretz Yisrael. And the Chazon Ish said, the Ponevezh Rav would have been the Gadol Hador if he had devoted himself exclusively to learning and teaching. But he knew that Klal Yisrael needed him to do something else, so he did it. There's a great Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Moshe Schneider, who had a yeshiva in London for many years, and many Gedolei Yisrael were his talmidim. Not only Gedolei Yisrael, but people who affected the history of Klal Yisrael. Rabbi Moshe Reichman, the great supporter of Torah and Jewish life in Canada and all over the world, was a prime talmid of Rabbi Moshe Schneider. Considered him to be his Rebbe, which he was. And Rabbi Moshe Schneider was once in Memel, the city of Memel, as a young man. And Memel had become almost entirely assimilated. The Jewish community had, the Orthodox Torah community had dwindled to almost nothing. And one of the Gedolei Yisrael came to Memel, and in Memel there was one great tzaddik. They called him Alamed Vavnik, one of the 36 hidden tzaddikim in the world. And this Gadol Yisrael came to Memel, and he said, Memel needs Lamed Vav tzaddikim, not nistorim, not hidden tzaddikim, but open, public tzaddikim, to rebuild the city, to rebuild Yiddishkeit in the city. And he told Rav Moshe Schneider, you have to stay here and you have to build, which he did. He did, and he developed talmidim, and he developed into a nice Torah community, which was never later destroyed in the Holocaust. Hayesh ba eitz im ayin. You need a tree. The tree has to produce fruit. And this applies not only to the Rosh Yeshiva and his Beis Medrash, not only to the Rav in his shul, it applies to every single person in his family, in his neighborhood, with his friends, to every father with his children. We can produce, and if we try, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give us the siyata d'shmaya to succeed.